Hey guys, sorry I've been gone for such a long time. Seriously, my equipment's been busted. Life's been trying to punch me in the grundle. Yeah, just a whole bunch of bad stuff happening. Um, so I finally got time. I lost my job, so that's something. But anyways, I'm going to put my effort into YouTube right now. So expect a couple of uploads probably today. Probably not, but I'm not sure. Alright, anyways, we're starting off. What if Deku had a shonen quirk? This will be pretty cool to do because it's something I wanted to do for a while. It was harder to write originally, but now it's just really fun to write. Anyways, let's get this started. We start off our story with the young Izuku. Sitting at his desk, he's about 5 at the time. He's reading one of his favorite manga. This wouldn't normally be a problem, but the teachers have been yelling at him to pay attention for 5 minutes. Izuku! Izuku! The teacher yells at him, having had enough of this. She walks over and snatches the book away from Izuku. Honestly, stuff like this will rot your brain. Hey! Give it back! Master Roshi was planning to do something really cool! Izuku whined, with the cover of the book displaying Dragon Ball, Chapter 13, the chapter where the kamehameha was introduced. Yes, that will be Deku's first canon ability. Get over it. It's not fair! It's not fair! It's not! Izuku slams his fist down on the desk, ready to announce the last word, but is stunned into silence when he falls onto the floor, the desk being busted into rubble. Fair? Izuku says when the teacher's eyes are bugging out of her sockets, shocked about his newfound strength, before he starts crying after scaring himself. Izuku, it's all right. The teacher tries to calm him down. You just manifested your quirk. It seems you've got super strength. The teacher tries to cheer him up. Here, read your book while I go call your mom. You'll need to be taken to the quirk doctor. We can talk about your desk at a later time. The teacher chuckles to herself. Seemingly completely forgetting his temper tantrum and fear, Izuku picks his book back up and starts to read it, happy again. He's happy that he got his quirk, but he's more interested in seeing what Master Roshi is going to do to put the fire out at the Ox King's mountain. As Deku reads, he sees Roshi using the Kamehameha, and forgetting about all the excitement about his quirk, he does what all young children do when they see that. Izuku aims a blast at his childhood bully, Katsuki Bakugo, and giggling, shouts out, Kame! Hame! Ha! Izuku laughs, not expecting it to actually work, but he's surprised when he feels pressure building up in his hands, and he sees the blue light forming. Not wanting to erase his childhood bully / best friend from the universe, he freaks out and aims his arms upwards. Immediately, a blue wave fires from his hands and tears through the roof of the school, up to the space, everyone freaking out to see what just happened. Multiple heroes think that it's a villain attack. A few patrolling heroes arrive, and the teacher is rushing around to get everyone out of the school, with Izuku having a horrified look plastered on his face. More so than the other children. The school is currently on fire due to the hot plasma attack, setting the wooden tiles ablaze. And the heroes approach the teacher. What happened here? The pro-hero asks incredulously. The teacher explains all that happened and pointed toward Izuku and Midoriya. The pro-hero walks up to him, but the sidekick notices the All Might shirt Izuku is wearing, and decides that it would be best to let the lead hero go up and talk to him himself. A large, bulky man swaggers to the young and catatonic child, and shouts from the bottom of his heart, Have no fear, for I am here! Midoriya's eyes snap up and he shouts, Oh my! Izuku looks at All Might and thinks about what he's done. He stands up and puts his arms out in front of him. I guess you're here to put me in prison. The pro hero is shocked that the young boy looks so scared to see him, when he's clearly a fan by the All Might swagger on his chest. No, young Midoriya, I have no reason to arrest such a promising young man as yourself, All Might says. But I did bad things. I burnt down the school.
Ha ha ha! That can be fixed with time. The more important thing is no one got hurt. But listen well, young Midoriya. You must get a handle on your quirk.
Well, I was thinking about what happened when my quirk manifested. I think I figured out what my quirk is. I don't know if I can get a handle on it.
And what by chance would that be?
The sidekick decides to ask, stepping into the conversation. The young child sits and thinks to himself about what he should say, and then he hears a voice. It's his mother. She runs to him and grabs him, pulling him close and into a hug, crying, not even noticing All Might standing in front of them.
Is this your mother, young Midoriya?
Inko turns around, and much to her excitement, standing before her is All Might. Wow! You're All Might! Oh no, is Izuku in trouble?
No, ma'am. His quirk just activated for the first time, and he was about to tell me what it is.
My quirk has to be a shonen quirk, because I was reading shonen manga where the hero had super strength, and I accidentally broke my desk. And then I saw Master Roshi do the kamehameha. I tried to do it too, and I blew up the school.
Whoa, that's some pretty damning evidence of a copy quirk.
Ma'am, might I ask what your husband's quirk are? Inko's face turns red for a moment, and she states plainly, My quirk is telepathy. I never married. Oh, well, I meant the boy's father. I'm not exactly sure what his quirk was. I never met him. Izuku looks at his mother's with wide eyes. She had always told him that his dad had a fire-breathing quirk. All Might stop for a second and pose the solution. How about we go to the doctor as a group, and we can talk privately? Yes, that should work, Inko says, hurrying along with Inko by her side. At the quirk doctor's, the doctor does a test to confirm Izuku's theory. He hands him a later issue of Dragon Ball, where Gohan is teaching Videl to fly. While Izuku was upset about spoilers, it was quickly confirmed that Izuku could manifest flight, as well as his other abilities were still available to him. In the other room, Inko explains to both the Doctor and All Might about Izuku's heritage. I adopted Izuku when he was a small child. I don't know what his parents' quirks were. It didn't matter to me at the time.
Do you have his birth certificate?
Yes, I do. Inko handed the certificate over, and the doctor takes a look at the names on it and searches through the quirk database. It appears that the quirks of Izuku's birth parents were fantasy creation and a copying quirk. It makes sense. It's a mutation of the two powers. All Might smiles. While he's not looking for a successor currently, he plans to stay in contact with the family should they ever need anything from him. To pass one for all down, Izuku is called back into his room where the doctor has to give him the news that will ultimately break his heart.
Izuku, unfortunately, for you, your favorite hobby has become too dangerous for you to do without certain stipulations.
Izuku curses under his breath. He knows where this is going and he hates it. He's not going to be allowed to read manga anymore. This blows! Izuku shouts.
Wait a minute. I'm not finished.
As a result, For you to live a happy life, you will have to be trained on the use of your quirk. Every time you read and learn a new ability, you must stop and focus on the control of that ability. You will not be allowed to read again until you have mastered both flight and the kamehameha without issue. Do you understand?
But I can't use my quirk! Non-heroes aren't allowed!
Izuku asks, getting increasingly angry. Usually that's the case, but in some rare cases, that is a cruelty too much to bear. As a result, you are hereby granted a license to use your quirk in public, but never on people. The doctor gives Izuku a small card, and on it explains his quirk and his permissions. Your development will have to be observed in multiple checkups every year. Izuku sighs. He hates the doctor. Everyone laughs at Izuku's anger. And they all go their separate ways. Except Izuku, knowing the way home and having to learn how to master flight anyways, he decides to fly home, smacking into a couple of buildings on the way home, trying to control his speed. He keeps the bugs out of his mouth and his eyes. Man, this looked way easier when Videl did it. Smacking into another building. Ow! 9 years pass. It's around the end of the middle school year, and Izuku is walking into a classroom with his head buried in the books. He stops and curses.
Damn it!
Closing the book, he sits at the desk. Why could Sasuke use a variation of the Raikiri or something?
When the hell am I going to have time to summon a damn lightning nuke?
Izuku screams out, considering he just barely missed having to learn the Susanoo because it's a transformation power. Over the years, Izuku has learned that while he can mimic abilities from characters in books, he can't mimic them if they require a transformation. Transformation that wasn't already part of his quirk. So, Izuku learnt the Kamehameha, but not Super Saiyan. He did, however, have to learn Kaioken, which, surprise, surprise, almost shredded his body completely. He spent 3 weeks in the hospital after that. If only I knew Airyo Jutsu beforehand. Izuku grumbles out loud, remembering that event. Just then, he heard an explosion coming from a fist that hit his desk.
Damn it, nerd! Pay attention! I'm not taking notes for you again!
The loudmouth blonde sputtered out.
Shut up, Kachan!
Izuku said, uncharacteristically whiny voice. The kind of voice he usually got when he couldn't read for a while.
Damn, nerd. Whatever ability you have to pull off now must really suck if you get that depressed.
Izuku, not really minding sharing his arsenal with his best friend, pulls out a book and flips over to the right page. He shows Katsuki the page of Sasuke pulling out the Kirin. In seconds, Bakugo is on the floor laughing.
When the hell are you going to be able to pull that kind of nonsense off?
I don't know, but I can't even say the name of the attack without having gotten to use it first, or the whole city's going to disappear. And until then, it's considered dangerous for you to continue reading and risk learning anything else. Katsuki finished with a cheerful tone, obviously not caring much about his best friend's plight. Over the years, Izuku and Katsuki Bakugo have gotten to be better friends. This is mostly a result of the fact that Izuku almost erased him from the planet. He was well aware seeing the green-haired boy aiming the Kamehameha at him. Had it not been for Izuku changing his mind about evaporating his childhood bully, he would have been nothing but dust. As such, Katsuki decided to save his own life and befriend Izuku immediately. Tell you what, why don't we fly out to the testing site or something and test some things out? You mean, why don't I carry you 50 miles so you can see Minuka Wasteland? I mean, you don't have to put it like that. It's not my fault I can't use my quirk legally. Katsuki grumbles, obviously considering Izuku's quirk license to be broken and unfair. Well, I did learn something else that could take us there quicker.
And what's that?
Instant transmission.
Deku, did you learn teleportation? Katsuki asked with a flat face.
Yeah. When are you going to stop calling me Deku?
When you stop calling me Kachan, nerd.
The two quiet down, and the teacher comes in. Class goes relatively normal, and we get to the part where the teacher throws the papers in the air, saying he knows everyone wants to be heroes, causing everyone to go crazy. Bakugo interjects and gives his usual speech.
Don't lump me in, Deku, in with all these rejects. We have the chance of actually becoming pros.
You would expect the more confident Izuku to chide Bakugo, but what comes next is more of a shock from the more quiet kid. Kachan, don't be so mean. I'm sure that one or two of them can become at least sidekicks, Izuku says with a blatant deadpan look. Bakugo and Izuku snicker towards each other, while the rest of the class glares evilly at them. Well, it's the truth, the teacher says. The Pro Hero track only accepts 1% of applicants, and you have to be able to impress them with your combat or rescue-suited quirk. Without that, you're just a mutated civilian, and the way I'm likely to end up dead. In that case, you don't get accepted by a hero school. You should really put for another school in mind. That will bring this day to an end, the teacher said, kind of insulting everybody by confirming Izuku and Katsuki to be correct. As Izuku and Bakugo walk out of the classroom, a few kids are waiting for them and glaring at them as a matter of fact. This has been a regular occurrence. It used to be where Izuku and Bakugo would be confronted for their blatant and cruel honesty during class. Originally, a few kids that have rather decent quirks that believe that they could become heroes had taken to calling Izuku and Bakugo villains. Every time they beat the crap out of them, they would try to come back and test their luck again. That was until Izuku and Bakugo started giving them pointers and helping them develop their quirks. Sorry guys, unfortunately we can't fight today. We have to go and train for the UA entrance exam. Also, this nerd might accidentally nuke you, Bakugo says as he kind of jokes. Hey Kachan, leave it alone, it's not my fault.
Who's the one that can't get control of their own damn quirk?
Shut up! With that, Bakugo grabs onto Izuku's arm and teleports away with him, leaving the rest of the group dumbfounded. The boy with the rock quirk turns to a girl with an air quirk and just flat out says it. Did he just teleport? The girl with the air quirk answers, I think so. It wasn't very clear. And that's actually going to do it for this episode. Sorry, it was kind of short. It was more for setting up. I actually plan to do what if Naruto had infinite chakra today. I am going to be doing a bit of revise on Sasuke's Sharingan, mostly because I read fanfic that will make that work. So if you're all excited for that, hopefully I will be able to satisfy your thirst for what ifs. With that being said, like and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye!